Related accidents are a major concern with nearly 500,000 injuries each year. As we recognize Ladder Safety Month, it's important to focus on preventing these incidents both at home and work.
We spoke with Mike Van Bree. He's Director of Product Safety and Engineering at a leading U.S. ladder manufacturer to discuss key safety tips and also how to stay protected. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us here for a very, very special topic, March being Ladder Safety Month. We got nearly 500,000 ladder-related injuries reported each year. Mike, what do you think are the main causes behind all of these accidents, and how can we prevent them?
Well, for starters, let's talk about that number. It is an alarming number. That is a CPSC estimate on what they believe to be the number of accidents from a compilation of sources. What we realized from doing detailed investigation is that these accidents are virtually all preventable. And so the way you can do that is, to your question, follow those instructions that are on the ladder. So you want to select the right ladder for the job. You want to set it up properly. You need to make sure that once you've set it up, before you set it up, that you actually inspect it. So select it, inspect it, then set it up, and finally use it according to those instructions. And I think the ladder is one of those things people think is a very commonsensical tool. You just put one foot in front of the other and you're good to go. But there are some really important tips that I think we can touch on here just to make sure that people understand that. So on the selection side, we want to make sure that they're using a ladder of the proper duty rating, height, material of construction. So, for example, if you're working around electricity, you don't want to be using a metal ladder. You don't want to be using a fiberglass ladder.
There's some common sense there.
Yep. And then when it comes to the inspection, that will cover mistakes that have happened. You know, sometimes the ladder can become damaged and you don't really realize it, and you need to make sure that you check every component, make sure you're looking for anything that's damaged, missing, not operating properly. So, for example, on an extension ladder, you've got these rung locks that hold the movable fly section at elevation, and you want to make sure those are working well. Spreader braces or those metal braces on the side of a step ladder, you want to make sure that they're operating freely and are able to be put into the locked position. So now that you've done that inspecting, we can move on to the setup, and there's some key points there that we can cover as well.
And clean those gutters.
Well, when you're setting up to clean gutters, that is a challenge, because oftentimes you're working around flower beds, for example, and things of that sort. So you're hitting the nail on the head. You want to set it up on a smooth, preferably level, firm surface, so you don't have legs sinking down into the dirt. It's not going to slide to the side or slide out. If you're using an extension ladder, you want to make sure that setup is at the 75-degree angle. That sounds technical, so let's make it simple. 75 degrees, sure, you could use a protractor or something to measure that, but the other way you can do it is just count your number of rungs, because that's going to give you the length of the ladder. In the United States, the ladder rungs and steps are 1 foot apart. So it's real easy to estimate that length. If you're sitting on the ground and your top is resting against a wall, for example, you would just count the number of rungs and move the feet 1/4 of that distance away. So in the example, 16 feet. Let's just say you count 16 rungs up to where it's touching the wall.
Right.
You want to make sure that the feet are 4 feet away, so that you don't put it 5 feet or 6 feet or 3 feet. You don't want it to be too short or too long. You want to balance out that ability to resist slide out. That's kind of the key point there.
Good information. Now, Mike, the American Ladder Institute is offering free training tools for ladder safety. So can you walk us through what these training courses cover and how they can help prevent accidents?
Absolutely. So laddersafetytraining.org is a website that has video-based training programs and then an exam as well. And what that will do is allow you to, in a matter of minutes, go through the training course to cover these things that I've talked about with selection, inspection, setup, and use, and a few more. but it covers those sorts of details in a video-based training format for step ladders. We just reintroduced a refreshed extension and single and extension and telescoping ladder training program. So that's a fantastic one to do. The other site is focused around, as you might guess, Ladder Safety Month.
Right.
And, so that's the other is we want to go to Ladder Safety Month, and that's a .com. The first one is .org. Ladder Safety Training is .org. LadderSafetyMonth.com, and that has webinars put on by various ladder manufacturers, for example. It has flyers that you can use for training employees if it's a job site situation. So there's some great free, I want to emphasize that it's all free, out there from the American Ladder Institute.
All right, great points to keep in mind here too. And I love the thing, laddersafetytraining.org and laddersafetymonth.com. All right, there it is, since it is Ladder Safety Month. All right. Mike Van Bree, Director of Product of Safety and Engineering, leading U.S. ladder manufacturer. Thank you so much, Mike. We appreciate all the info.
Thank you so much.